Breaking news on 41 Action News starts right now.
Breaking tonight at 10, a 3-year-old girl is safe after someone stole the car she was sleeping in. But tonight, the suspect is still on the loose.
You watched it all unfold live right here on 41 Action News. That little girl running towards police when they arrived at the scene near 190th and Evans in Tonganoxie. That's where the suspect ditched the car and the girl after taking them from KCK.
The 41 Action News Sky Tracker crew was the first to spot the stolen car and the child inside, and then 41 Action News called police.
We have live team coverage. We begin with 41 Action News reporter Andres Gutierrez live in Tonganoxie. Andres.
Mike, tonight, law enforcement is still searching for those suspects. Now, as a former military pilot, Sky Tracker's Captain Greg Borden knows something about conducting those searches. So when he and his partner flew over this field earlier tonight, they knew something was up.
This is not a traveled area. This is not a public area at all. And that child could have been out here all night.
But that's not the case because of the eagle eyes of Captain Greg Borden and photographer James Moore. Around 7 tonight, police received information the car stolen from this KCK gas station with the 3-year-old girl was west of the city. Officers then pinged the suspect's cell phone. That brought Sky Tracker to Leavenworth County.
Just saw this oddball silver car sitting there, unattended. The door was open. My photographer, James, put the camera on it, zoomed in on the back seat, and sure enough, he could see that there was a child in the back seat. So
it worked out, so I got really excited and kind of jumped out of my seat. I was like, that's the girl, that's a silver Focus, that's her, check the license plate.
Sky Tracker then called the 41 Action News assignment desk, who alerted law enforcement.
Sheriff's deputy just came right under the helicopter and then made his way out this road until he could see the child. Child actually got out of the car by that point.
They captured the reunion 2,000 feet from above.
It happens too often. We have this special ability that we're above. You know, we're one of the few helicopters in the city. We're a real news helicopter. We go out and this is what we do. We don't just do promotional stuff.
And as a result, a young girl is safe at home. And now KCK police telling me a short time ago that they do not believe the suspects are in the area here of Evans Road and 190th Street. Reporting live tonight in Tonganoxie, Andres Gutierrez, 41 Action News.
Andres, thank you.
It's such a relief to see that young girl running towards police. Meanwhile, a live look right now, Children's Mercy Hospital, where that girl is. Just moments ago, we heard from police about the condition of the girl.
With the help of the news media, which was instrumental, we located the young lady, and she's been reunited with her mother, and they're at a local hospital, and she's okay.
A huge sigh of relief tonight. That little girl is okay, and these suspects are still on the loose. Take a good look. Police believe they worked together to steal the car from the gas station. 41 Action News reporter Tom Dempsey is where this crime started in KCK. What a scary night, Tom.
Absolutely, Rhiannon. This whole ordeal started inside the convenience store at the Valero gas station here at 7th and Riverview. A short time ago, we spoke to the cashier who says the suspects came in, paid for some items, and then moments later took off in a car with a young girl inside. The evening the family of a 3-year-old girl will never forget all began when a man left his car running with the young girl in the back seat to go inside this convenience store to get an item. A few short minutes after going inside, the man tells the cashier a shocking discovery.
Just to say my car is still somebody, but I have my kids in the car in the back is sleeping.
2 strangers, including this woman in a blue dress, taking off with the man's car with the young child inside. The cashier says the suspects did not seem suspicious.
Normal, like everybody, she's relaxed, and I didn't see something different.
A crime with no certain end involving an innocent young girl.
Within minutes, the white female came out and left in that vehicle, so it happened very quickly.
Within 2 minutes, police responding and starting a desperate search from the gas station, an experience where KCK police say every moment matters.
It was a busy situation. Obviously, when you handle a child abduction, it's serious. We wanted to locate that child as soon as we could.
Now, police left here just about an hour ago. As you can see, kind of quiet right now, but the place is back open for business, and the convenience store is open once again. Ahmad telling us he has never been this close to a crime. Live in KCK, I'm Tom Dempsey, 41 Action News.
Wow, this could have had such a different ending. We are so glad that little girl's safe, Tom. Thank you. We will, of course, keep you covered on air and online as this case develops. Again, they have not located those suspects yet. For the latest information on this, download the 41 Action News mobile app.
Also breaking tonight at 10 o'clock, a woman in critical condition after a house fire in KCK. Fire crews responding to the home near 10th and Gilmore. That's near Central Middle School. They discovered the woman inside during the search. It's unclear what caused the fire. A hot day today, but now Gerard Jabali tracking the potential of rain. What do we know?
Well, we can say that we're not expecting a whole lot, at least not in the near future. But we did see a few storms move through our area this evening, just not here in Kansas City. Quiet and very hot and humid throughout your day, too. Temperatures still hanging on. Look at this, 87 degrees still in Lee Summit. We're not far away from 90 even at this hour. Kansas City still 84, Overland Park as well as Lawrence here. So still a lot of warm, muggy air sticking around. Those showers and storms that we had were mostly over towards St. Joe and Hiawatha. They've kind of spread over here. We had one pretty big one move through Chillicothe, but a little bit of residual rain and a couple of them sparking up near Maryville. Most of Kansas City, this green you see here is just ground clutter. So no rain falling there, and we're not expecting any more tonight, at least not in that location. But these have had a little bit of punch to them earlier today. They had at least several severe thunderstorm warnings move through parts of our northern viewing area. So tonight we're just looking for partly cloudy skies, warm and muggy, a shower storm to the north, but that's about it. Better rain chances for us here in Kansas City and areas to the south tomorrow. We'll track that for you coming up in just a bit, Mike.
Gerard, thanks. New details tonight about that bad crash that left 5 people dead along I-7.
Prosecutors say the investigation into the wreck near Bonner Springs could take several months. During a press conference today, the Leavenworth County District Attorney details what investigators will now look at.
All factors are getting considered in cases like this. I'm not going to speak specifically about this case, but factors are included of going through a construction zone, what the road conditions were, things of that nature. And
we want to give you a better look at how this crash happened. 2 vehicles, including one semi, were stopped in the right westbound lane. It was due to construction ahead. 3 other vehicles were slowing down to a stop, and then as a second semi crossed over the hill, it slammed into 2 vehicles. This started the chain reaction crash involving 6 vehicles in total. 3 of the vehicles then caught fire. 5 people died in the crash, including Ricardo Morales, Dr. Sheldon Cohen, and Cohen's wife, Virginia, all 3 from Topeka. 61-year-old Teresa Butler from Illinois and 63-year-old Karen Kennedy from Indiana also died in the crash. New tonight, a family remembers a man shot and killed during a family gathering at a local park.
They held a memorial tonight for 65-year-old Ronald Patterson. Someone shot and killed Patterson Saturday while he was sitting at a shelter in Swope Park.
I just don't understand it. He shouldn't have died like that. You know, they shouldn't have took my cousin away like that.
Police say they have identified a suspect, and that person is still on the run tonight.
Also new tonight, a Leavenworth businessman pleading guilty to bank fraud. She spent her employees' 401k money on herself. 41 Action News investigators first telling you about Brenda Wood back in 2014. And in court documents, Wood admits she got employees of her cleaning business to withhold money for a 401k plan, but she never deposited the money into those accounts. Wood was also behind a botched real estate deal in which she got investors to pony up millions of dollars to purchase downtown buildings. The deal collapsed and Wood filed for bankruptcy. As part of the plea deal, Wood now avoids jail time but will pay at least $50,000 in restitution. Police want your patience as they try to investigating a shooting involving a Leavenworth police officer.
An officer shot and killed Antonio Garcia Jr. while investigating a stolen car. Police say the officer opened fire when the two got into an argument. Garcia died at the scene, and police are not saying at this point if he had a weapon. The FBI has stepped in to help.
it is something that's going to take time. It won't have any bias. My office will be reviewing it as the reports come in, and if feel needed, that I will reach out to other agencies.
The officer involved in the shooting is now on administrative leave. A man is now charged with attempted murder of a 5-year-old child. On Tuesday, police arrested 35-year-old Antoine Fulton of Topeka. Lenexa police believe he was in an argument outside of Crossland Economy Studios. Those are near I-35 and 96 Terrace when he shot into the building, hitting the child in the leg. That child is expected to recover.
The Kansas City Council will consider a $149,000 settlement tomorrow. That's how much is recommended in a lawsuit involving a Kansas City police officer. The suit says the officer caused a crash in the Northland back in 2015. The City Council will now discuss the settlement tomorrow.
Kansas City's fire department is hoping new employees will help with its staggering overtime expenses. The department's overtime more than tripled from $5 million in 2010 to $16 million in the last budget. Today, Police Fire Chief Paul Berardi met with the City Council Committee to go over some options. Along with the new hires, the department is also considering written permission for overtime to evaluate why it's needed.
In a consumer alert, Verizon confirms your personal information could now be public. The company says data of 6 million customers was leaked online. That means customer phone numbers, names, some PIN codes could be accessed on the internet. Experts say it was caused by human error.
Well, grilled on Capitol Hill, lawmakers questioning the man hoping to lead the FBI. President Trump's pick, Christopher Wray, says he was never asked for any type of loyalty pledge, and he says he won't offer one.
If the president asks you to do something unlawful or unethical, what do you say?
First, I would try to talk him out of it, and if that failed, I would resign. From counterterrorism and
Wray led the Justice Department's criminal division in the early 2000s. It's being dubbed snortable chocolate. The safety concerns before you try this newest candy.
Plus, dragged, kicked off, and seats taken away. United's new push to never kick you off an overbooked flight.
And certainly hot and humid today. Our high temperatures hitting the mid-90s most areas. We do have a break from the heat coming. We're talking about when coming up.
You're watching 41 Action News at 10. Clear, complete coverage.
You're watching 41 Action News at 10. Clear, complete coverage. With Rhiannon Alley, Mike Marusarz. Your forecast with Gary Lezak, Kansas City's weather leader. And sports with Mick Schaefer. Thanks for watching 41 Action News.
A shocking video showing the moment a mudslide hit a busy street, leaving 8 vehicles buried in mud. Traffic moving slowly in China when that mudslide swept vehicles off the road and into each other. Another look now. Persistent rain causing all of this. Firefighters rescuing a driver trapped in his car. 15 other people escaped through their windows. Incredible. Well, the Missouri Police Department, once at the center of global attention, is now getting new technology to track the use of force and even bias in officers.
The application uses statistical data from the officer's stops, including the type of call, the suspect, and the end result.
It's going to be a huge benefit in terms of making sure that we can monitor ourselves and take corrective action where it's necessary.
The software costs more than $100,000, but the company is donating it to the suburban St. Louis Police Department. Well, police hope that a new software will repair their relationship with the community. Violence and protests breaking out 3 years ago after an officer shot and killed Michael Brown.
Missouri Senator Roy Blunt wants the president's son to talk with the Intelligence Committee about his meeting with a Russian lawyer. Blunt spoke with MSNBC's Chuck Todd today. He says the committee should talk to everyone possibly involved in the Russia investigation without jumping to conclusions. The president's personal attorney is defending Donald Trump Jr., saying the meeting with a Russian lawyer was in the heat of a campaign and that nothing came out of the 20-minute talk. He also says no crime was committed.
U.S. troops are now preparing for Friday's Bastille Day parade in Paris. They marched along the Champs-Élysées today to practice for the parade in France's national holiday. President Trump will arrive in the French capital tomorrow. He is the guest of honor of France's president. United Airlines is now trying out a new system to make sure you never get kicked off of an oversold flight. The program will identify oversold flights and will notify you 5 days in advance. If you're willing to book another flight, the airline will give you a $250 voucher. This change comes after a video surfaced showing a man dragged off the plane when he refused to give up his seat.
Some health experts call it the worst drug crisis ever, and today they met with state officials in D.C. about the opioid overdose epidemic. Experts telling a House committee one way to tackle it is to treat addiction as a chronic medical condition, not a crime. They also said to rein in the overprescribing of opioid pain relievers.
Things like a broken leg or things like a kidney stone don't always require opioids.
In 2015, 33,000 people died from an opioid overdose. Half of those involved prescriptions.
A new cancer therapy could save children who are running out of options. The FDA now recommends approval for an experimental therapy called CAR-T. It extracts special immune system cells from patients with leukemia, then reprograms the cells to be infused back into the body to find and destroy the cancer. One 12-year-old is now cancer-free because of this therapy.
She'd have said a few years from now, your daughter will be the first child on earth with her immune system trained to beat leukemia. It would have seemed like a far stretch.
I have chills. This treatment would be for children and young adults. Well, snorting powder is generally frowned upon, but one company is now selling snortable chocolate.
The chocolate powder is marketed as a stimulant and stress reducer. The company behind it says it's slowly making its way into smoking and tobacco shops for people over 18, but it comes with a warning. Doctors say snorting the product could cause harm to your lungs. And while it is legal, one senator urges the FDA to launch an investigation. Willy Wonka now rolling over. What is that? Chocolate's so good, why don't you just eat it?
Right, why don't you eat it?
Right?
Good point.
Snorting it, just eat it.
Exactly.
It's a different product.
Okay.
We'll move on. Parts of Chicago underwater tonight, and it was after a massive overnight storm.
Crews rescuing several people inside cars. Take a look. Look at this. This is not something you see near Chicago very often. No one was hurt, but more flooding is expected tonight.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing. I agree completely, Mike. Just, no, really, I'm with you. I think that's the best way to eat chocolate, so it's been rather enjoyable. You guys, you really do entertain me. Even all the way over here in the Weather Center, I get a kick out of them. So today was one of the, actually no, it was the hottest day of the year so far. Before that, 93 was our highest temperature, and that would hit on June 5th, June 15th, June 11th. And we beat it today by 1 whole degree. Today's high, 94. So that has been set. We have not hit the triple digits yet. And it has been a long time since we have over 1,400 days since we have last seen 100 degrees reported at KCI Airport. That was back September 8th, 2013. So we can be thankful for that, although I still think we could all agree it has just been very, very hot the past several days. All right, so right now our temperatures are not too terrible to take. Still a ton of humidity in the air, so it still feels very uncomfortable. Right now temperatures basically hanging on to the 80s, although it is still 90 downtown. A lot of heat still remaining because of all the asphalt and things like that. Garnett still hanging on to 91. Look at the cooler air that has already moved in up north. We had showers and a few storms move through. And now we're starting to see most of that activity dying out. You can see a few of them kind of hanging out over there near Maryville and behind me near Maysville and Gallatin. But everywhere down to the south, all this green you're seeing here is all ground clutter. No rainfall there, but we are going to see the rainfall here in Kansas City here in just a day's time. So hang on, we'll get to it soon enough and we'll get a break from all this heat. So here is that cold front. This is our firing mechanism for all the showers and storms. We've got plenty of energy in the form of all those warm temperatures and humidity, but soon we will see that fire up. Here comes the front moving south. This is at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Anything you see red is all 90-degree temperatures, so still going to be warm, but it's not going to be excessive. We're likely going to dodge the heat advisory tomorrow. But we'll see a few showers and storms starting to fire up later into the afternoon and evening. This is now at 7 o'clock. You see the showers and storms kind of lining up along I-70 here. So much needed relief from the heat in the form of rain, rain-cooled air, and eventually this is going to move out of the way and we'll get even cooler, drier air to move in. So this is now at 10 o'clock. Still some showers and storms kind of hanging out. Same for Friday morning. Looks like we're still going to see a few of them sticking around overnight through Thursday night into Friday morning. But the overall trend should be that we dry out as the day goes on. So things should be looking better, especially by the time we get towards the Royals game. Look at this. For Friday around 5 o'clock, it's looking a lot better. Less heat and humidity. Only highs in the 80s, so much better as we move in towards the end of the week. And the weekend's looking pretty good too. But until then, we need some rain, and we're going to get that. Many areas will see anywhere between about 1/4 of an inch of rain to even an inch of rain or so, especially if you get into those heavier showers and storms. So things are looking good with that. The rain will move out. We have some time before we see our next chance. So 91 for tomorrow, not as hot. And again, mainly afternoon showers and storms, but a few places, especially up north, we'll continue to see those showers and storms kind of rolling into the overnight hours. Here's your 7-day forecast. Expecting the rain chances to stick around through at least Friday around lunchtime. The evening should start to dry out, and the weekend much more easier to take. Upper 80s, a little bit drier air. We get to kind of get rid of the humidity for a brief time. It's probably going to come back by the middle and end of next week.
It looks like a fantastic weekend.
Good.
Even chocolate would melt, whether you eat it
or snort it.
I just don't get it. But anyway, McShafer's in now.
I missed that one.
Yeah. It was a good one. A lot of people.
And I'm glad. I'm glad for that. We've got U.S. playing a country you've probably never heard of in soccer. And good news, bad news for Frank Mason. Depends if you're talking on or off the court. Ouch.
Now, it's the 41 Action News Sports Report, sponsored by Fenton Nissan.
Okay, so listen, don't book your college football playoff plane tickets just yet, KU fans. But Dorrance Armstrong has been voted preseason Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, so things are looking up in Lawrence. Same goes for Como, where Drew Lock sneakily was the second leading passer in the SEC last year. Now he's back for his junior season, already his third year as starter.
The way we spread the ball in our offense, I mean, I truly think this year we'll have 2 1,000-yard receivers. Yeah. I think Jonathan Johnson's amazing for us. His backup, Rashad Floyd, is I mean, you'll hear his name a lot this season.
He's got a high football IQ. He understands what we need out of that position. But also, I want him to know that we don't have to get it all in one throw. And he understands that.
College football is back in just 50 days. Count them down. All 3 locals beginning on September 2nd with supposed tune-ups with regional, smaller, somewhat directional FCS teams. Well, it was a great day for Frank Mason. The former Jayhawk officially became a king, signing an NBA contract. He was also up for an ESPY tonight. Then came the NBA Summer League game against the Bucks. In the first quarter, he rolls his ankle. Oh, right there, bad. Walked out under his own power to the locker room. X-rays negative, sprained ankle. He'll survive. Not sure if former Jayhawk Julian Wright will survive after that. Josh Jackson in the Suns Jazz game with the stuff. That's hawk-on-hawk crime there. Meanwhile, Malik Newman could be the next Mason or Jackson in Lawrence.
I always played with the ball in my hand, and I always been comfortable with it. But I think last year I kind of took a bigger step for playing with the ball in my hand.
Ike Kapara is out of the hospital after this bicycle kick to the head last night against FC Dallas, diagnosed with a severe concussion. Meanwhile, a few of his teammates in action tonight. U.S. versus Martinique, which is a Caribbean island, property of the French, of course. Holding their own until the second half. Omar Gonzalez for the U.S., 1-0. Minutes later, Jordan Morris, 2-0. Martinique, named by Christopher Columbus, by the way. They would score twice, though, and tie it up, so the U.S. would need this from Morris again, and they'd get it. 3-2, U.S. with a much-needed victory over Martinique. No sporting players got the start tonight. And finally, Herm on the Chiefs. It's been about a decade since he's roamed the sidelines at Arrowhead, but he knows a thing or two about young quarterbacks and how to groom them.
This could work out pretty good for Mahomes in the fact that he's got to be obviously coachable. He's got to humble himself and not rely on his talent, but he's got to understand how football is played at the pro level.
Herm Edwards off the golf course in Lake Tahoe.
I always liked Herm.
Yeah.
He's a likable guy.
Great guy, likable guy. He's been an ESPN star since 2009 after he left the Chiefs. So, yeah.
Andy Reid's been good to us.
Yeah,
No
he has.
We'll be right back.
A cool down. Sort of.
We can call it that. We certainly can. We're saying goodbye to the 90s for a little while. We get to see some 80s on Friday, Saturday, a little rain before then. We could really use it, though.
Yeah, certainly. Thanks, Gerard. Have a good night.